Yes, people, it's AFTV. It's a 3-0 win away to Oxford. I'm with Dylan. Dylan, 3-0. We're through. It's City away next. But before we get onto that, what do you make of today? Any takeaways in particular?
3-0, I predicted it. I expected it. Oxford are a League One side, so this should be normal. This should be regular. We saw Man City last night, went out and beat Chelsea 4-0. So, to be honest, I expected it. I expected the first half to be a little bit better. Obviously, I knew Oxford would come out and they'd be hard to break down. They'd give it a lot of energy. They'd press a lot. But in the end, I thought our quality would shine through. And it did in the end. We won 3-0. Eddie Nketiah got his goals, He loves a couple goals in the cup every year. Didn't manage. I know he did manage one against Brighton actually.
Yeah, you
But
got a
no,
own
he's doing good at the moment, Eddie Nketiah. I definitely had my doubts, but he's come in. He started firing, scoring against West Ham, scoring against Brighton. That's 2 against Oxford. North London derby on Sunday, though, I really want to see a performance, because if he can put in a performance on Sunday, then I'll have something to believe in, because he signed an 100 grand a week contract now. So he's obviously here for the long term. If not, he's here to protect his value. But I'm all here for it. If he's going to come, he's going to stay, and he's going to keep putting in performances the way he has. That's what 4 goals. No,
Yeah,
4 goals since he came in for Jesus. Jesus has got 5 all season.
Yeah.
So Jesus obviously offers a lot in other areas, but Eddie Nketiah is putting the ball in the back of the net. So that's all credit to him. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, he got a goal against West Ham, then he got a goal against Brighton. Newcastle nullified pretty much our whole attack. So I guess that's understandable, but I think he needed the goal or two today heading into that North London derby, because he's got a massive role to play. We see Newcastle double up on Saka and Martinelli. Oxford used similar tactics today, nullified them quite a bit. But Eddie got his 2 goals. The first half, it's hard to really pick out a player that stood out. But in the second half, you mentioned Eddie already. Is there any other players that stood out to you? Vieira got a couple of assists.
Yeah, well, Fabio Vieira was my man of the match. He was playing in the 10 today. Obviously, he's not going to come in for Odegaard on Sunday. Odegaard's going to be the man that plays against Tottenham. But it's good to see that Fabio Vieira has taken his chance now, because the problem against Brighton and some of the Europa League games is that he wasn't really doing much to, give Arteta the headache that the whole point of squad. Well, that's the whole point of squad depth. You need, the players that come in, you want them to create a headache for the manager, and he wasn't doing that. But he came in today, great performance, great assist for Eddie when he went around the goalkeeper. And in the second half, he really came alive, definitely. So if he can just keep up these performances, we've got City away next. I imagine he'll probably play in that game, because he is good enough. This is the thing with Vieira. It's not like he's young, he is young, but he's got the quality clearly. So all he needs is a chance. He's going to play against City, and that'll be a big opportunity for him. We saw him come on against Man United towards the start of the season. He didn't have a pre-season, didn't really do much. He scored against Brentford, did well in that game. So when he plays in the first team, he normally puts in a good shift. But going into Sunday, it's all going to be about the 2 players behind him. Not him, Odegaard, the 2 players that play in the midfield. Because today we saw El Neni and Lokonga, and to be honest, it was diabolical in the first half. There was nothing going on. They were getting moved left, right, and centre. Even Fabio Vieira at times, But as the game went on, he grew into it. Oxford became tired. He started finding more space in the ball and working his magic. But yeah, on Sunday, I want to see Thomas Partey and Xhaka in there. We will see Thomas Partey and Xhaka in there. And we saw the instant impact that Xhaka made when he came on. The players knew what time it was straight away. He came on, and yeah, it was time to wake up. And they did. And that's all credit to the team, 100%.
We all knew prior to this game that we've got 2 massive games coming up. We've got Tottenham away and then United at home. It's turned into 3 massive games after the FA Cup draw yesterday, and we've got City away towards the end of January. Can we knock City out of the cup?
It's going to be hard. Yeah, in terms of City, it's going to be about the team we go with. Because if we go with the same team as today, we get smashed. If I'll be completely honest with you, we will get battered if we play the same team as we did today. If we go into that City game away with full strength, with the likes of Thomas Partey starting in the midfield, I think we've got every chance, and it'll be a good test before we play them in the Premier League. That's for sure. But I don't know. There's a few players I'd definitely keep in. Matt Turner, again, solid. Didn't concede a goal. Doesn't really concede at all for Arsenal these days. He's had a perfect season, to be completely honest with you. Pre-season was a bit dodgy, but since he's played this season, he hasn't really been at fault for much at all. If I'll be completely honest, he conceded a penalty against Zurich. Apart from that, I can't really remember much, if I'll be honest. So, yeah, Matt Turner's definitely one that I'll keep in for the game against Man City. Obviously, I expect Saliba to come in, but I'm not going to have a problem if Holding plays. Again today, Holding was someone who was good. And yeah, I want to see like our world-class players. I want to see players like I reckon a few of our players, we've got a few world-class players. We've got Thomas Partey, we've got Saka, I hope is not injured. I really do hope Saka's not injured, because that's going to be a massive blow for Sunday if he is injured. We've got obviously Odegaard as well, in the form of his life at the moment. So everything's looking good. You know, I expected to win 3-0 tonight. We did win 3-0, thankfully, because I didn't want to see us go out of the FA Cup in the first round like we did last year. That would have been really embarrassing. So, you know, we get through. We play Man City next. And, I mean, yeah.
And finally, I mean, we spoke briefly before the game about the North London derby coming up and our record at their ground over the years. And we're both pretty confident going into that game. But you also mentioned Saka picked up what seemed like a muscle injury today. We don't know the extent of it by the time this interview comes out. Maybe Arteta's spoken about it. But are you still confident for Sunday with and without Saka?
I think we're winning on Sunday. Without Saka, I'm not so sure. Without Saka, I'm definitely going to be worried. But you know, we're going to find out tomorrow. Like this guy, like we're gonna need him, because Reece Nelson's injured. So if we have no Reece Nelson, even Reece Nelson's not quite at the level of Saka. Martinelli on the left he'll be fine. He was getting battered today, but you know, he's a fire. He'll be there on Sunday. And Nketiah, I imagine he'll be in the starting lineup as he was. And honestly, Sunday, it's going to be different. You know, recent years it's been hard, and it always is hard going to Spurs away. You know, the atmosphere they create for the team, whether they're on form or not. As we know, with the North London derby, form goes out the window. But genuinely, I think this year's different. You know, like form is going to have to come into play here, because Tottenham have won their last 2 games, but they beat Palace, who have been awful. They just got beaten by Southampton, and they just scraped past Portsmouth 1-0 at home. So. And we're in the form of our life, you know. We're top of the league. We're 5 points clear. We're through to the next round of the FA Cup comfortably in the end. So genuinely, I'm hoping for the best, and I think we are going to get a win on Sunday against Tottenham.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.